Hello, on behalf of Employment Solutions Society, a Nova Scotia Works Employment Service Centre, I'm going to present on the topic of coping with job loss. The following presentation contains information and resources that can help to support you as you learn more about how to cope with job loss. The information included in this presentation is intended to introduce participants to the concept of the job loss cycle, the various stages in the cycle, and strategies for enhancing coping skills and moving forward. We encourage you to adapt the material to your personal lifestyle. On our agenda today, we will cover life's top stressors. What is the job loss cycle? Stages of the job loss and the impacts, behavior changes, coping strategies, both personal and professional, the silver lining, and moving forward. Life's top stressors. There are many stressors in life, but these are some of the most common. Death of a loved one, divorce, job loss, personal health issues, and financial pressure. The job loss cycle. The job loss cycle can be compared to the grief cycle, which is a process people go through when faced with extremely bad news, such as terminal illness. It can also be compared to a roller coaster ride of emotions that can be experienced differently depending on the personality or the person and the circumstances. How you respond to being out of work will depend on your personality and circumstances. You may find that your emotions follow a series of stages called the job loss cycle. The stages in the job loss cycle include shock, anger, depression, detachment, bargaining, acceptance, and moving on. As you review this slide, you will see the stages of job loss. You will notice that grieving the loss of a job is normal, and depending on the person, you may progress through all of these stages very quickly. Some people will need more time to work through some of the stages than others. Occasionally, people get stuck in a stage and have difficulty moving on. Or, periodically, they will revisit stages. Even if you did not like your job very much, you could still experience many of these emotions. To provide you more information on each stage of the cycle, please follow along. In the shock and denial stage, you may be in shock, particularly if you lost your job suddenly or unexpectedly. You may pretend nothing has really changed. You may say things or think things like, "This isn't happening to me. I'm the only person to whom this is happening. Nobody understands how awful I feel about this situation. I know they will call me back. They will find out how much I contributed and realize they can't continue without me." This may make you angry, and you may be angry with yourself or your former employer. "I'm so ticked off, I didn't deserve this. This is all the company's or manager's fault. I have the right to be really, really angry about what they did to me. In fact, I was treated so badly, I'm going to stay angry for a long time. I'll show them that they can't treat me like this." If you feel worried, anxious, or depressed, you may have trouble getting started to look for work because you feel weighed down. This may result into the yo-yo stage of desperation. I'm going to apply for jobs even if I don't qualify or if I'm overqualified. I deserve to be hired. I'll beg for my old job back if I have to. Because of these actions, you may face rejection. And in the rejection stage, you may feel depressed and have self-blame. I just see a black cloud no matter how many silver linings there are. I can't get off the coach. I can't face doing anything. I just want to stay all curled up, feeling sorry for myself. I don't care about anything. Nothing matters anymore. If I can't have what I want, then I'm not even going to make an effort. You may feel worthless and that you can't do anything right. You may feel that you don't even want to get out of bed, that there's something wrong with you, and then you may feel, no wonder I can't find a job. People may go through a grieving process similar to that associated with other great losses. You may find you are starting to accept. You accept the fact that the job is finished and get ready to begin on a serious work search. Explore your options. You will need to be realistic. I've lost my job. It was rotten and very upsetting, but I can't do anything about that. I've got to find another job, and I might as well get started. The sooner I get started, the sooner I'll feel better. I guess it's time to face reality that I may need to lower my wage or job expectations. I haven't had much luck finding jobs that will pay me what I was making before, and the jobs in my field seem to be disappearing. What can I learn from this? I accept the facts as they truly are, and I'm ready to move on. I would like for you to take a moment and decide what stage you presently are at in this life cycle. As I read through the impacts of job loss, I would like for you to consider other impacts of a job loss that you may have experienced. Impacts of job loss are loss of income, personal relationships, social contacts, change in sense of belonging, change in routine, change in status, loss of recognition, loss of benefits, change in future plans, and a loss of confidence. Behavior changes. There are emotional, physical, and behavioral impacts of job loss. Assess your behavior changes and consider the impacts they have had on you and the others around you. If you feel your behaviors are excessive and interfering with your ability to move on with your life, you may wish to consider seeking support and guidance of a professional. A few examples of behavior changes: being cynical, negative, avoiding talking, loss of intimacy, excessive drinking, excessive smoking, excessive use of prescription drugs, using illegal substances, being more accident prone, driving carelessly, blaming others, worrying excessively, having mood swings, emotional outbursts, being short-tempered, failing to contribute at home, experiencing changes in eating habits, arguing with others, bossing others around, and being excessively stubborn. You may also have physical outbursts. After you have assessed your behavior changes, consider the impact of any self-defeating behaviors you are engaging in, and the impact of your behavior changes on those around you. A few coping tips. If you are experiencing loss of income, speak to your banker or financial advisor. Develop a budget that helps to afford you the opportunity to take the time to make the best choices for you based on the realities of your situation. Avoid rushing into something you may regret later. For changes in relationship and business contacts, make a point of contacting your former coworkers to explain what has occurred and say your goodbyes. This will also help them adjust to your absence. Layoffs often leave the survivors, those still on the job, with doubts and feelings of guilt, in addition to their fears that they may be next to be laid off. Decide whether you feel you would like to maintain contact with some of your former coworkers. If you feel ongoing contact would be positive, by all means initiate it. If not, move on after you have said your farewells. For changes in personal relationships, for your spouses or partners, discuss your feelings openly with your partner and encourage them to do the same. Your instinct may be to protect them from the unpleasant realities, but in doing so, you only deny each other the opportunity to support one another through tough times. That may eventually lead to resentment and arguments. Set aside some time to spend together, focusing on enjoying each other's company. Avoid discussing the job loss at these times. Be aware of how your behavior has changed and how it is affecting those around you. Replace any of the self-defeating or detrimental behaviors with more constructive ones. Be conscious of your behaviors in the presence of children. If the children are old enough to understand, sit down with them and calmly explain the situation and how it will affect them. For example, they may have to accept a reduction in their allowance for a time. For other close personal contacts, let them know how you are doing and be open with them about the kind of support you need from them. This may include asking them to give you space. Thank them for their concern. Listen with an open mind to their advice, and then make your own decisions based on all the gatherings of the facts and decide what is best for you. For your social contacts, when interacting with your friends and acquaintances, let them know how you are doing without making your situation the main focus of every contact you make. This way, you'll avoid constantly bringing them down and burning them out. Also continue to rejoice with them for the positive occurrences in their lives. Misery may love company, but no one enjoys a wet blanket. If you are experiencing a change in sense of belonging and purpose, create reasons to get up. Make plans to meet or speak with a supportive friend. Do volunteer work. Join a support group or a job finding club. Get involved with a hobby. Do this early into your unemployment. The longer you wait and allow feelings of isolation and lack of purpose to set in, the harder it will be to get back into the flow. You will experience a change in routine and structure. Develop a new routine, which takes you out of the house if possible. Getting out there regularly will have a positive impact on your self-esteem and may have some other positive effects, such as keeping you aware of what's going on in your community and developing new contacts. For a change in status, hold your head high. Remember, the loss of a job does not mean that you are a different person with lesser values and skills. Sometimes a job loss results from things outside of your control, such as a pandemic. Though your situation has changed, the position you have earned in the community need not. When dealing with inquiries from new acquaintances, don't feel obligated to share your whole story. For loss of recognition, consider the kind and amount of recognition you require, and find another means of getting it. This may mean involving yourself in volunteer work, such as participation on a board of directors, taking a course where you get recognition for your academic achievements, or seeking recognition closer to home for contributions there. For loss of benefits, attempt to negotiate a continuation of benefits as part of your severance. Failing that, offer to pay the premiums for coverage to your employer so that you may still qualify for the group rate. If you are unsuccessful with both, look into the possibility of setting up your own coverage plans. It may be worth exploring. To cope with future plans, examine your future plans carefully. Consider your motivation for developing your plans the way you have. Were they realistic before your job loss? Are they realistic now? If not, what adjustments need to be made to achieve your goals? What barriers can you anticipate, and how can you overcome them? Are you still committed to these plans? If so, make a commitment to yourself to find a way to achieve those plans, despite the setback of your job loss. If not, develop a new plan. Coping strategies. Coping strategies for your personal life. Develop a support network. Set personal goals. Keep active, mind and body. Establish a routine. Be aware and work through negative feelings. Do things that make you feel good about yourself. Explore your strengths. Obtain professional help if you feel the need. And think positive and reward yourself. Coping strategies for your work life. Make job contacts. Get in touch with all the job contacts you have in the field if you are planning to stay in that occupation. Give them your resume and let them know you are actively looking for work. Ask if they know any leads. Do some career planning. A job loss can provide an opportunity to reevaluate where your work life or career is heading. Is there time for change? Do you really like what you were doing? Do you want to look at a complete career change, develop a new skill set, or just find another company you would enjoy working for in the same field? Consider upgrading or retraining. Look at your current skills. Do they need upgrading? Are they no longer in demand? Network. Continue to develop your network. Add new contacts to your network. Plan a daily agenda. Stay organized in your job search. Have a daily, weekly, monthly agenda or to-do list. Explore community resources. Research all the resources in your community that can help you, such as workshops, information sessions, etc. Develop a strategy for moving forward. The silver lining. The silver lining in job loss may not be possible for everyone depending on their personal circumstance. However, in many cases, job loss can provide you with the opportunity to enjoy many of the points on the slide. For example, there is more time for your partner or spouse and family, more time with friends, virtually right now, more time for hobbies, leisure activities, time for self, time to get involved in community activities and volunteer work, reduce stress levels, opportunity to explore options, new occupation, self-employment, training, a fresh start, time to participate in special interest courses, opportunity to make a much needed change, to reorganize your priorities and make new friends and contacts. Moving forward. Once you have come to terms with all matters, emotional and practical, it is time to move on. You must decide where to go from here. You must look at why you lost your job. Were you let go to the COVID-19 pandemic? And will your job be there for you in the future? Was the company downsizing? If so, is this a trend in the industry? Do you want to stay in the same field? Is a career change in order? If not, maybe this is a good time to spruce up some skills in order to make yourself more marketable. Rather than looking at a job loss as a horrible thing, it might be better to consider the positive implications of this situation. Take the time to make some changes. Switch careers or industries. Learn some new skills and improve upon the ones you already have. Or perhaps consider relocating in the future. Look forward to your next opportunity. You never know what doors this turn of events may open for you. Take stock of the situation and examine your options. Make decisions. Set goals. Create a plan of action and take action. Consider what your actions are going to be to ensure that you are able to move forward. We want to help you. Contact us by phone at 902-543-2479. Toll free 1-866-711-0411. By email at info@empsolutions.ca. You can also find more information on our website, empsolutions.ca. Thank you.